What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Road to Ironman with JG3 Fitness Podcast. We got Tivo and the return of Jason Dunphy. He's an idiot if you're watching or if you're listening to the audio version only. He just threw his hands up in celebration. If you're watching YouTube, laugh at him. Anyway, today we got kind of a special episode. We only got 3 of us here. Tivo's leaving on Sunday for the Army, so we're going to kind of have a decompress episode with Tivo, and Jason was in the military as well, so we're just going to have some fun. This one probably won't get into Ironman training. It's probably going to be more conversation about just where Tivo's come from, where he's going, tell some funny stories about our training, maybe have some of Jason's ideas on how we're going to torture Tivo after he leaves, but that's kind of the game plan. So we really don't have a game plan today. We're just going to wing this shit.
Oh yeah.
About right.
So, first of all, Jason, how long were you in the Army?
Yeah, 4 years.
4 years?
99 to 03.
99 to 03. And you were one of the people that Tivo reached out to when he was thinking about going into the Army, weren't you?
Yep.
Why don't you guys talk about how some of those conversations went?
I don't know. He just texted me and asked me about it.
Yeah. I was like, so what's the Army like? And he was like, it's fun. You should think about it. that was literally it. I was like, okay, cool. And then we started talking about, because I was watching Band of Brothers at the time, and we talked about Band of Brothers a lot. And then we started talking about Special Forces a lot, especially because Goggins was big in my head at the time. So we talked about Goggins and then Tim Kennedy. And then from there, it was just like, so what did you do? And then he just told me about his experiences and stuff like that. And then
Told him to get a job that helps him further his career
yeah,
instead of just going to do dumb shit.
Yeah. But I know when Tivo asked me about it, he asked my opinion. He goes, from someone from a non-military perspective, my only question was why. Like, you better have a good, just like the Ironman movie, you better have a good why. And I'm like, I don't know shit about the military. I respect the military and what all the sacrifices and everything they made, but I'm like, I couldn't give you a yes, no, is it a good idea kind of thing. But I know you always spoke very highly of your military.
It's fun. You get good stories and you have fun. I mean, you do a lot of dumb shit,
Yeah.
but you have fun while you're doing it.
I don't do dumb shit, so I think
Yeah,
Tivo
Tivo
struggle.
doesn't sound at all.
Me do dumb shit, yeah.
You do dumb shit. So let's take a step back and talk about how when you first started at the gym, you started up in your Quick Fit program.
Yeah.
And he was always known as just that guy that was up front smiling all the fucking time. Like,
I couldn't imagine seeing Tivo do quick fit.
It was bad. It was like there was no pulling a Tivo at that point. So it was just me just dying the whole time.
Yeah. What people don't realize is people look at our Quick Fit program and people always ask me what's the difference between Quick Fit and JG3 Fit. And I'm like, everybody calls us crazy in the back. And some of our ex-coaches be like, you should come back here with us crazy folks. I'm like, you motherfuckers would die if you did Quick Fit. Like, Debbie's program is no fucking joke. Like, it's 45 minutes. I had a coach yesterday because Trent had baseball practice. And she's like, I want to give him 3 10-minute AMRAPs, no rest in between, upper body, lower body, core. And I'm like, 3? And
Yeah.
she's like, yeah. They move for 45 minutes straight. Pretty much.
Debbie's hardcore.
That's hell on wheels. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
it's like when I got stuck with her for the team series, and the first workout was deadlifts and pull-ups, and she was like, "How do you want to break it up?" And I was like, "I don't know. We can go half each." She was like, "Okay, that works." So we do half, and then I was like, "That wasn't bad." And then we did the next half with pull-ups, and I was like, "Okay." And then hop on the deadlift, and finish the deadlift. And I think we did all the deadlift unbroken, and then we get back on the pull-up bar, and she's like, "All right, come on, like, I think we can go more this time." And I was like, I'm breathing heavy by this point, and I was like, okay. So I finished the first half, and I drop, and she was like, I need to keep going because I'm not gonna be able to drop, and I have to force myself to go back up. I was like, man, she's hardcore. I was like, this hurts.
Did she cuss at you?
Yeah,
Get up there, Tivo.
yeah, she's just quit being a pussy and pull.
But I remember he would do quick fit, and I would always come up, but like I always do, I try and at least come up, give everybody a fist bump, say what's up, say thanks for coming in. But it's kind of Debbie's baby. But I remember we had our anniversary party, which is right around Christmas time every year, and Tivo and I believe Emily came with them, and they actually were like the only quick fit people that showed up to.
We didn't even go.
Oh no, that's right, you won.
I won, yeah.
You won like wrist wraps
won
or some
yeah.
shit, not even being here.
I think it was all a ploy to get me back there.
Probably. I mean, we didn't have Jason at the time, but I'm sure he was sending subliminal message that said, "I need a new piece of ass. Please grab someone that can't defend themselves."
Yeah.
And Tivo walked in. We're like, perfect. But yeah, you were on the wrist wraps, and that's when your sister was in from Phoenix, right?
Yeah,
She's
my
the
sister
one that
came in.
convinced you
She was like, yeah, you do one class. You're gonna love CrossFit, and I was like, I don't know. And she was like, okay, well, and then she came, she got on Facebook, got a hold of you guys, and she was like, there's a class tomorrow at 9. We're going. And I was like, okay, let's go. Yeah. So we showed up, and it was thrusters and burpees over bar.
Welcome here, buddy.
Yeah,
Kick in the dick.
and you weren't there.
No,
and
I
I'm pretty
wasn't.
sure Debbie was like, just do the thrusters, but no, there was a different coach. They were like, just do the thrusters, just drop the weight. And I was like, I'm not dropping the weight. So I didn't drop the weight, and it sucked, and it was awful. And you were gone that whole week.
Yeah.
And then the week you came back, you like looked at me and you were like, "What's up?" And I was like, "Hey." And you're like, "You're not doing anything, right?" And I was like, "Okay." And you're like, We're gonna start at step 1." And I was like, "Okay." And then that's like when you were like, "All right, this is your squat. This is you can do that."
Yeah.
And just start from phase 1. And I think that's where I actually started taking off. But yeah, that first week was rough because I was just doing all the movements, and then Jay was like, "No, we're not doing that anymore."
We definitely had some. We jokingly talked about it in the podcast that went out today about how early on pulling a Tivo was a legit, like Tivo he was so excited to do the workout. Like he would come in and he would sprint. If it said 30 thrusters, he would sprint the first 30 thrusters and he'd be like, what's next? And he'd be like, 30 burpees. Fuck. I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, there's a whole, it says AMRAP 20, which for those of you who don't know what that means, as many reps as possible in 20 minutes. And he tried to get all of it done in 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, you're just going to die the next 19 minutes and 40 seconds. And he's like, oh. So that's where kind of pulling a Tivo came from. But I remember he ended up signing up for the Open. We had a bunch of people that were really obsessed with the Open
It's like,
last year.
What's the Open?
And he's like, what's the Open? Fuck it, I'll sign up.
Yeah.
So 18.1 was a 20-minute AMRAP of, it was
Toes to bar,
8 toe to bar,
clean and jerk.
12 hand clean and jerk, or 10 hand clean and jerk.
Yeah. And
Like with a 50-pound dumbbell and then a 14 calorie
calorie
row. And literally he shows up and he was in like the, I don't know, like 5th heat we had running that day. Because we had like 30 people signed up for the Open last year.
it was crazy.
And he's like, Jay, what's a fucking toe to bar? And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, well, you put your toes to the bar. And he's like, oh, we literally in the warm-up taught him how to do toe to bar.
Carrie was my judge for it, and she goes, this is how you do it. And she just like, bang, reps a couple out. And I was like, okay. And then I like jumped up there and did 1, and I jumped down, and she was like, okay, we're doing singles the whole time. And I was like, deal, we're doing singles the whole time.
But yeah, so then we just kind of threw him into the wolves, so to speak, with the Open. But I think around, I don't remember exactly what workout you kind of came out of your shell. Like you enjoyed it and you were part of the group, but there was a moment in the Open where you kind of realized, hey, I can kind of figure this shit out. Like you didn't come in and destroy it, you didn't come in and RX all of them, but there was a workout that all of a sudden you're like, hey, I'm just like these guys. Like all these people have this intimidation factor where they're like, oh, what you guys do is so crazy, and he's like, I'm doing the same shit.
Yeah.
as you guys. And a lot of times he was looking at the same as we were at the end of the workout, and he's like, wait, it's the same shit.
Yeah.
So he kind of really came out of his shell towards the end of the open.
I think it was the deadlift handstand.
Yes, the deadlift handstand push-up. It was 18.4.
Yeah.
Deadlift handstand push-up.
I'm pretty sure it was that one because I remember I looked over at Kyle like in the middle of it and I was like, sucker. And I passed him and I was like, that felt good.
Yeah. So we got through the open, and then right around then's where we signed up for the No Surrender Gear survival games.
Yeah, it wasn't too much
shortly
longer
after that, and so we were supposed to have 2 different teams. My team fell the fuck apart almost immediately, and then his team was supposed to be Tivo, Kyle, and Robbie Smith, and Robbie was having a back injury, so he kept bugging me to fill in. And I'm like, bro, my team's out. Like, I'm good. I don't want to fuck with these guys. Like, you guys got a good thing going. Have fun. And I think it was about like a month out when I finally was like, all right, if they really want me to do it, they can ask and I'll fucking do it. And right away, you guys were like, can you do it?
Yeah. And you're like, on one condition.
Yes.
I was like, what's that? And you're like, you have to swim. And I was like, I don't know how to swim. And you're like, we'll teach you. And I was like, I don't know, man. You're like, you'll be fine. I was like, okay.
So
the beginning of the swimming.
The beginning of swimming, which he ended up going and swimming, and he did a good job. Ultimately, we decided it was in our best interest to not have him swim.
Because we realized we could probably pull off a couple wins.
Yeah, we were like, hey, the dynamic kind of changed when I joined the team, and we realized how much he had progressed and how much Kyle had progressed over the summer.
Yeah.
They kind of went from dabbling into it to they got really serious about the survival games, and they started getting really good. And I don't remember which one of you two brought it up. I think it was Kyle came to me, or he finally texted me, he goes, bro, I know you're trying to be, I think you're trying to be nice and have Tivo swim, but motherfucker, we can win if you just, you're a college Division One swimmer. Shut the fuck up and go win the damn thing for us. And I was like, all right, I'll swim. And then we went out, and I think we finished like 3rd or 4th in that event.
Yeah, and we were like, oh, we're top 5.
Yeah, we were like, holy shit, we finished top 5. Then we went out and had a strength event, and we all PR'd, and that's when, he got to experience Joe P coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking tricked him into a PR, bro.
He did. I was pissed after because I didn't think I PR'd too. Yeah.
So he looks at me, and you were supposed to tell your judge before you went for this thruster, and he looks at me and he's like, what's on the bar? And I'm like, I think I told him 175.
Yeah, 175.
165 or whatever, and he's like, all right, cool. So he hits it, and I look at the judge, I'm like, I'm fucking lying, it's 185.
No, it's because I was like, I'm going to open with whatever Kyle finishes.
Yes.
And he finished at 175.
Yes.
So I opened it and I hit 175, and I was like, only go 10. And you're like, okay, cool. And I turn around. Yeah. And I'm assuming as soon as that happened, you said 195.
Yes.
And then I turned back around and I hit it, and I was like, not bad. I was like, okay, 195.
And I'm like, okay.
And you went okay, and this whole time I never looked at the judge, but the judge was like, I was so confused. And then I got 205 like right above my head, and then it just like came back and like hit me in the head, and I was like, okay, we're done. Yeah. And I was gonna try to hit it again, but then I realized that my like single unders that time I was like, we can actually do really well. So I was like, screw the bar, like let's get Jay on.
So we ended up moving on, and afterwards, and I didn't even tell him, we're down at the camp area where we had all of our setup, and we're telling the story with the girls, and we're just shooting the shit, and they're like, what did everybody hit? And I had PR'd at 220, Kyle PR'd at 175, and Tivo PR'd too. He's like, I didn't fucking PR, I only hit 175. And I was like, no you didn't, you hit 195. And he goes, no bro, I missed 195. I'm like, I forgot to tell you, I fucking lied to you.
Yeah.
I put 195 on the bar when you weren't paying attention. The judge knew that, and he's like, nah. And he like looks on the fucking scorecard, and he's like, wait a second, our number's not right.
Yeah, I was like, it's 10 up. And you kept going. You're like, I'm telling you, you did PR, and I was like, I did it. I did it. I remember. You're like, no, you did. Yeah. If you go back and look at the picture, I did.
So we joked him into PR, and then we ended up finishing the third workout. By the third workout, we had to do 4 that day. I do a very horrible job of coaching and competing at the same time. So I didn't drink a fucking bottle of water. Mind you, our first event was at 7 a.m., I think.
Yeah.
Our third event was at like 4 in the afternoon.
It was bad.
And I hadn't drank. I've done 2 workouts, and I barely ate anything. I had to do a handstand walk in the obstacle course.
This is where.
And I finish, and I'm like looking at them, and we make the finals, and we're in like 4th place overall or 3rd place overall, and we like go to do this sit-up workout. So the workout was like 150 sit-ups holding this ball, and you had to like pass the ball to your partner and then smack basically their leg, and then pick the ball back. I'm so fucking dehydrated at this point. I'm like looking at Tivo like
he's like cramping up in the sit-ups.
Like, we're cramping. I'm in a bad
bad
spot, and I'm like, I looked at him and I'm like, hey bro, you might have to fucking do this 85-pound dumbbell snatch. We practiced this twice, and I've never had to pass off the fucking dumbbell.
So I wasn't even expecting it. I was like, whatever, dude.
So he's like standing on the other side of the fucking gym, and I'm like, well, guess I better suck this bitch up and I like go to pass, and I miss the dumbbell and like drop, and Tivo's eyes get like this big.
And I'm like, I'm so far away. I'm like, do I need to sprint over there? And then he like, you could tell like Jay was frustrated because he looked at the weight and then looked over at me and then went back up, and I was like, fuck. I'm sorry.
So I finished it off, and I was like, man, we did all right, but I think that was our worst finish the entire weekend.
The sit-ups was the worst finish.
Yes.
We got like last in the sit-ups, but the dumbbells, we killed everyone.
Yeah. So our aggregate score ended up being
like middle pack.
Yeah. So we walk into the next morning, we go back, we fucking shower, we fuck around. We ended up swimming with the kids, and we're screwing around.
Yeah.
We're like,
Kyle's drinking beer.
And we're like, all right, whatever. So let's see how it goes tomorrow. And we were in like 5th or 6th place going into the next day. And we come out, and this was kind of our signature workout, because I'm like, guys, the workout was it was a 400-meter trail run. And when I say trail run, I'm talking fucking hill.
It's straight uphill.
Straight uphill, just ridiculous terrain. And I'm like, I don't care what happens. Everybody's going to sprint this bitch. We have to be smart at the beginning. Just stick with our plan. So it was a 400-meter trail run. Then you had to alternate 40 push presses. I had to hold overhead. Then as Kyle goes up, I can go down. And you're alternating like that. Our strategy was, fuck it. Me and Kyle are holding on for all of it.
20, I think it was 20, 30, 40. 20 push presses, because I remember it wasn't that much.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. It was 20 push presses, and then it went to 30 cleans, then 40 deadlifts. But you had to do the run in between. Yeah. So we're like, all right, we'll do that. Then
I'll stay back.
Tivo's going to stay back and change the weight, and then he's going to run up and catch us, and then me and Kyle are going to switch on the power cleans, which was 135.
And then so
we sit here and we're doing the cleans, and all of a sudden like Kyle's like falling apart.
Yeah. So the plan was
me and him do the first 10 alternating. I would drop and switch out, and then he would drop and switch out, and then me and Tivo would finish, and he'd stay back and change the weight, and me and Kyle would run.
Oh yeah.
Well, Kyle does one fucking clean, and like me and Tivo look at each other, we're like, get Kyle off the bar. So me and him,
rough shape.
He did 2 cleans. Me and Tivo had to do the other 28. But at this point, this is where it happened. So we came in last going into the push press. And me and Kyle fly through the push presses. We drop, and we're the first team out for the run. Well, these guys that were right behind us go sprinting by us, and I'm like, stay the course. We'll be all right. When Kyle gets back, he'll give us a breather, and we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Well, we finished the clean, and we're the only fucking people on the run for like the first.
And Kyle took off.
Kyle takes off like a bomb.
We're like,
oh shit.
Yeah.
He's back changing the weight, and I catch Kyle, go slow the fuck down. And he's like, these guys are gonna try and catch us. I'm like, it's all right. We're gonna fucking murder this deadlift. Well, we get up, and it was 40 deadlifts. By the time Tivo gets up there, we have 12 deadlifts left.
Yeah.
And nobody else has done like 10.
And I remember running in, because since I was behind, and all I hear is JG3 Young Guns with 15 left, and I'm like, I'm not even back. I'm like, they're gonna finish this, and I'm not even back. They're gonna be waiting on me. So I'm sprinting, and I get back. and like I see them drop the bar, and Jay, like not even like signaling to me, just goes, and then like walks away, and I'm like, oh, that's me.
Yeah.
and he goes, finish it.
Yeah.
And then I like looked at Kyle, and Kyle was just like breathing so heavy, and I like grabbed my hand and put it closer to his because it was only like 275. I was like, I could easily deadlift this myself. And I like just took like all the weight, and Kyle was like trying so hard to like do it.
For
Like,
team deadlift?
Yeah.
Two people holding the bar at the same time deadlift. And which always fucks with my back because I'm a taller guy.
Yeah.
So it always fucks with me. So me and Kyle are, and the plan was for me to do the least amount of deadlifts.
but they just took off.
And we were so far ahead, it was like, fuck it, we're not gonna stop. And we built up like a 15 rep lead. And I'm notorious for not really showing them. Like, I fuck with people, but I don't really show a lot of emotion when we're competing because I just don't like show offs. We finished that thing. I fucking double fist hit Kyle as hard as I can. He goes back into the wall, and me and Tivo are just like screaming. Not because we fucking won. It was because we stuck to the fucking plan. And everybody else, like the teams that were ahead of us, all fell apart. So we ended up jumping back to fourth. And then we went to the final event. We did all right, but we just couldn't overcome it. But that event was really when we were really close before that, but that event's really when everybody kind of started meshing even more, and it became more like, Tivo would start texting me and Kyle and just dumb shit.
Yeah.
And asking for stuff. So then we get back, and that's when we did the notorious that I talked about in the first podcast, where we went on our camping trip with Joe P. and Tivo almost drowned.
The drowning.
Almost caught on fire.
It's almost caught on fire.
Yeah, we were drinking the first night, and I was like laying on a bench and just being so drunk. I like rolled off the bench and almost went into the fire.
Yeah.
It was bad.
We had a little bit too much fun on that trip. But anyway, so we finished survival games, and then it was kind of like, what's going to be next? And I had already made the determination I wasn't going to do the CrossFit Open this year because of the Ironman. Tivo had not yet committed to the Army yet. And this is right around the time I think you started thinking about committing to the Army. Right before the Open started. It was back in, January?
Yeah, the beginning of January is when I like really got serious about it.
Yeah. So then it was like, what's next?
Well, before that, I did that Cougar Comp.
Oh yeah,
Terry.
that's right.
And that was a big turning point, mainly because in the first workout, it was, you did like 2 minutes of rowing, and then you like hopped off and did your max 3 rep hang power clean, and then like after that like section, you went and did a 4-minute AMRAP of 4 power snatches and 8 overhead squats at 125, I think it was. And with 4 seconds left, Carrie's yelling at me, and she's like, "Do not drop the bar." And I look up at the clock and I see 2, and I just went, whoop, drop the bar. And I just I sat down, and she looked at me and she said, "I said not to drop the bar." And I looked at her, and she went to give me a high five, because we finished the workout. And I just looked at her, I was like, I don't deserve that. And I walked away, and we sat down. And at that point, I was like, you gotta start actually caring and stuff like that. And I think that was the biggest turning point where I was fitness wise, I was okay, mentally you gotta.
So you stopped drinking?
I stopped drinking before that because she told me she wasn't going to do it if I drank that week. So I said, okay.
Well, and I think that's, I kind of touched on it on the episode that posted today, which was episode 3. That team atmosphere. It's always, you always
I actually didn't drink that time because I looked at you, I was like, how are you putting so many down? And you were like,
oh, I taught him my trick. I taught him my trick. So, old sales trick that I used is people always want to they want you to be at their level of drunkenness. And I'm like, I train all the time. I'm not going to be hungover every fucking day. So what I do is you keep a half drink beer and always just leave it in front of you. When they go, hey, you want another one? I'm like, I'm good. I just got one. So we're sitting back at the campsite when Guy was drinking. And he's like, how the fuck are you perfectly sober? And I'm like, I've had half a beer. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. And I hand him my beer and it's like half full and he goes, son of a bitch.
I'm sitting there hurting. I'm like trying to put this beer down, but I'm like so tired and dehydrated. I'm like, I don't know how you're doing it. And then he like told me, and I was like, haha, good one. I'm gonna start using this. I used it at the conference I went to in January. I was like, he's like, you want another one? I was like, I'm good.
But it is. People just want you to, and I don't think people are being disrespectful or trying to push drinking on you. They just, when you're drinking with people, they want you to be drinking with them.
Yeah.
So it's just, they ask and you just go, oh, I'm good. Anyway, so the Cougar Comp, we finished that, and for anybody that's ever worked out with Carrie, when she gives you that look when you fuck something up, she's pretty ruthless with that shit.
Yeah.
But I think when you are part of a team, for me anyway, I don't know how it is for you two, when I feel like I'm letting somebody else down, I try way harder. If I sit here and I say, Jason, let's go for a bike ride at 2, I'm going for, like I'm going to do that. Versus, I think Carrie was talking about it yesterday. She set out to run by herself and she was going to do 5 miles and nobody's with her. So fuck it, 3's good enough.
Yeah.
So that team environment that we try and create here and doing, I don't know, many of us have, I've never done an individual comp. I think Carrie's done one. But you do these individual comps and you just, our personality at this gym and most people that are here just don't have that ability to go, yeah, I don't care about pushing that hard unless somebody's here with me. You know what I mean? So if you hear that rattling noise, Tivo's putting down some On It Alpha Brain Instant to see if he can get his memory and focus a little bit better.
I'm gonna need it.
But so you finished Cougar Comp. When exactly did the military pop, or how did that pop in here? Because that was December, right? The Cougar Comp?
Yeah, it was really December.
It was like right before Christmas, right?
Yep, and then right around Christmas, my brother, he texted me Merry Christmas, and I was like, cool. And then I was like, hey, remember that idea you had? I was like, maybe you want to think about that again. So then I started.
Which brother is this? Not Izzy.
No, my brother that's in the military.
Okay.
And so then I was like, maybe you want to think about it again. So I started thinking about it again. And I started texting him, it's like how he's doing everything. He's like, yeah, I love it. And then that's right about the time I started listening to Can't Hurt Me.
Yeah, because I was going to say that came out in December.
I'm trying to remember.
Because I don't think it made it came out before 2019 because it's not on my book list.
Yeah, so it was at the exact same time.
It was around December.
So I'm over here just like obsessing over what can I do to make myself this stupid mental warrior. And I'm just like, okay, this is it. I was like, let's start thinking about joining the Army. And
that was probably a process when you're going through. I'm sure for those of you who don't know, Tivo had a really good job.
Yep.
For solar, right?
Yeah.
And why don't you walk through those emotions of like you're 24.
At 24.
You're 24. You're not the typical straight out of high school recruit.
No.
You got a really solid job.
Yeah.
You're probably pulled in so many different directions. You probably had so many people had opinions on the thing.
Yeah. Like even
you should do this. You should not do this. And
yeah.
what was the turning point that made you go, fuck it, I need to do this?
So yeah, like you're saying, good job. I have a lot going for me, especially like now that I've like had finally figured out like, all right, what do you want to do in life? And then I was like, maybe the Army. And so then the main thing was I remember listening to Goggins on a podcast, and he said if you go at life with hesitation, it's not going to work out. For example, if he's going to breach a building and he slowly opens that door, the enemy's going to know he's there, and someone's going to get taken out. If it's not him, it's one of his battles, and now he's in real trouble. So, but if he knocks that door down with full force, it's going to be a lot easier. Everyone's going to be safer in that situation, and it's all on him, and that's it. That's how he wants to live his life, and how he wants to live or take that responsibility in his hands. So then I started kind of living my life in a if not now, when mentality. So if I don't do it now, when am I going to do it? And I don't want to look back in a couple years and be like, yeah, you should have just done it. So
Can I stop you real quick? One quick second. I think that's the biggest problem in business, in life, and whatever you're doing. I told a coworker who's a member of the gym here, Lindsay, today, I was like, I get paid to make fucking decisions. So many people just want to pass the buck down and, oh, let's discuss it. Let's push this off. Let's push this off. A lot of when you get higher in a food chain, so to speak, is you just become you're the one that has the balls to make the decision.
right.
So when you're saying don't ease into the door, don't live life with hesitation, that's what pops in my head is make a fucking decision.
Yeah.
Like, I saw this meme on Instagram today. It says, whether you're right, we get so caught up in if we're right or a wrong decision, we don't realize it still takes you down a fucking path.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's going to be the right decision because it molded who the fuck you are.
Oh, for sure. It's living into this mentality has for sure made me a lot more accountable for my actions. Like if I do something wrong and I like catch myself like saying, well, you could have done that. Like, well, what could I have done? Like, I could have definitely changed the way I made that decision. I was like, that's on me. I'm gonna take responsibility for what I did, figure it out, and run with it, kind of thing.
Yeah. So, you were talking about you have a good job for solar.
Yeah.
You start having this idea planted in your head by your brother via text message.
Well, the idea was my idea. Like, the whole thing was my doing.
Okay.
With
Oh,
my-
so
with-
you
with my-
told him, okay.
With my brother, yeah, because I was like, hey, I just started asking about the Army, and then it kind of led to him being like, yeah, go talk to people, like go to a recruiter and things like that. I was like, okay, cool. So then him just like saying he loves it, I was like, time to start talking to more people, and then that's like when I started reaching out to Jason and actually going to recruiter. And it was funny when I walked into the recruiter, they're like filling out the whole like application sheet. And they're like, so when'd you graduate? And I was like, 2017. And they're like, oh, you're young. And I was like, oh, I'm 24. And they're like, you graduated high school at 24? I was like, no. I was like, I graduated college in 2017. I graduated high school in 2012. They're like, oh, you graduated college. They're like, okay, this is going to be a little bit interesting. And I was like, okay. So just like doing all that stuff was really funny. Like, they're like, there's a whole bunch of situations that they were like, yeah, we're not sure how to do that. And it was like, come on, guys, like, help me out. I was like, this is my life. But yeah, they did.
So you're talking to recruiters, you're talking to Jason, I know you were talking to me.
Yeah, my brother.
You got all these various inputs, and I'm sure on our end, I never really told you one way or another which way I was thinking. I'm not sure if you did or not. I basically just said, dude, if you want to do it, but you better have a good why.
Yeah.
Because once you sign that contract, once you leave, you're committed.
Yeah.
Was kind of my only advice. So if you got a good fucking reason, do it. If you don't have a good reason, maybe you should consider the fact that you have a lot going on for you. But I don't, I'm here to support you either way. Lisa's here for her balls.
Lisa wants her balls.
Lisa wants her balls. So Jason's gonna get up and give her balls.
Nice.
Is that food here?
For those of you
I'll go
not
check.
watching the
What are you
YouTube
waiting for?
podcast,
J-
we're talking
or,
about energy balls.
CR juices.
And now Jason's getting hungry, so he's asking about our CR Juices delivery. But you had all these people pushing you in all these different directions. What was that aha moment where you were like, you said don't live life with hesitation. You got all this input. When was it like, yes, this is what I'm doing? Was there a moment? Was it an election of moments? Like, walk us through when you.
So there wasn't really like. I think the big thing was I had told my manager way before I even enlisted that I was gonna go talk to recruiters and stuff like that. And he was like, "I fully support that," and I was thinking, this guy wants me to leave, and then he finally explained. He was like, I'm very proud of what you're doing, and it's awesome to see the way you're growing and all. And it's awesome that you're making a decision for yourself. So then I just like stopped listening to what everyone was saying. Like I loved all the stories that everyone was telling me, but I was like, what do you want to do? I was like, you have no one holding you back. You have a great family, and you mainly just have this big support system. What do you want to do with that? And I was like, like, let's do it because this sounds like it's going to be something very helpful in my life and going to help me reach goals that I want to reach eventually. So that's it. I'm in.
That's what's up.
And I'm gonna eat this shit right now.
So, Jeremy Foose and Lisa Kramer just delivered our CR juices. So Jason's gonna mow down a bowl, so it's a pretty good looking bowl. But, so yeah, I think it's always important to have a support system, but it's always important to be accountable to yourself. Like,
Yeah.
ultimately, I talk about this all the time. Be happy with the man in the mirror. Only you have to look at the man in the mirror. When I'm brushing my teeth at night, when I'm brushing my teeth in the morning, when I put my contacts in, everybody else's bullshit opinion doesn't matter. Whether you love them, whether you hate them, whether they're an acquaintance, whether you're your best friend, nobody else's opinion matters other than when you're looking in the mirror. If you look in the mirror and you have regrets, or you look in the mirror and you have disdain for yourself, or you look in the mirror and you're fucking excited with the possibilities of the day, that's what matters.
Right.
Yes, don't get me wrong, I have a wife and kids. After I look in the mirror, I hope like hell my wife's proud of who I am.
Right.
And I'm accountable to her. I hope I'm leading the way for my kids to attack their hopes and dreams. But there's no way to sit there and look at my son and say, you should attack your dreams if I'm being a lazy fuck that doesn't attack mine.
Right.
You know what I mean? So ultimately, if you're accountable to yourself, if you're accountable to your own actions and what you want to become, that's what matters. And I think that's the most exciting part for me, having been along this ride with you for the last couple of years, is just, you know, you started here in 2017 in Quick Fit, 2018 you moved into our JG3 Fit program. Here we are April 2019, and you're finally figuring out that I have to be happy with myself.
Yeah, it's
Like,
and it's been hard, but
yeah, and I mean, I'm sure there's been the fucking haters that sit there and say, I don't think you made a right decision.
yeah,
But ultimately, they don't have to live with that decision.
right.
They're holding some kind of resentment that they're not gonna get to see you. They're not gonna get the experience.
It's a selfish reason.
Yeah,
For,
which that's
It's a-
ultimately what,
That's been like the hardest thing because I don't really like to see myself as someone that makes selfish decisions and stuff like that.
Well, it's not you. I'm saying like other people not wanting you to leave.
Oh yeah.
That's-
But still, even me saying I'm gonna leave, like I feel it's still like a selfish decision to try to chase what I want to chase.
but is it? I mean,
If it's something you really want.
in the short term, maybe it's a selfish decision, but you're fucking 24.
That's true.
You're gonna be gone for 4 years.
At,
You got a year of,
How long did you sign up for?
at 3 weeks and 26 weeks.
No, I'm saying like
Or 3 years.
3 years.
3 years and 26 weeks, something like that.
So you figure in that's
That's
90
3
days
months.
vacation you get. So there's 3 months gone. And then you have your year of training. So there's a year, 3 months that don't even really count towards your time in. So really you only have like 2 years that you can do it.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
so you're gonna get out 27, 28.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I mean, me and
Yeah.
Debbie got fucking engaged when she was 30. You know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Even when
doesn't-
I'm done, like I'm still gonna be really young
Yeah.
and a lot of life to live. So that also leads back to like if not now when kind of thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
Especially if I don't do now, I'm probably not gonna be in this
Mindset.
mindset, this physically able body to do it and stuff like that.
And you're probably in I mean, I know you were a wrestler, but you're probably in one of the best shapes you've ever been in your life. I know
Yeah.
you've been training hard. We've had a lot of discussions about you backing it down this week. That way you had some.
What? Yeah, I
some
for sure
rest.
had to because
Yeah.
the past 2 weeks I was like, I don't feel right.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone really noticed that I didn't feel right because I still just pushed through everything until
What was your mentality the last couple days I saw you? I was like, man, Tivo just don't. Doesn't
I don't
doesn't
remember
sound right.
I don't remember what day it exactly was, but I remember or who said it, but I remember I was like, they're right, like something's not right.
Mhm.
And that the run this past that
Yeah.
10K that you heard in today's podcast, as soon as I got half mile in, like everything started giving out. My legs hurt. Even mentally, I was drained, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish this. That turned into my only goal, to just cross the finish line. Even though my goal was 50.
It's funny sometimes how the mind and body don't connect. And it can work both ways. You can show up and, I've had a shitty day and I've showed up and I'm like, man, I feel like crap, this workout's about to go really bad. And then just Hulk smash it. I'm like, where'd that come from?
Right.
And I've had the days where I show up and I'm like, I'm PRing today. I'm about to murder this. And I get like one of the worst spot scores I've ever had. Where I'm like, this is weird how these sync up, people. Like your body and your mind are supposed to be connected. So, you get that, but usually that's at the end of a long training spurt. You've been going pretty hard for a while now.
Yeah.
And that's why.
No rest days.
Yeah.
I think that's where I messed up, because I took 0 rest days.
Yeah. There's a coach's corner on rest days. You should go back and watch it.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck you, I'm leaving on Sunday.
Yeah.
He's might get some really good rest days coming up.
Yeah, I don't have to listen to your bitch ass now. But I mean, you've been doing it right. So I think taking a few days to just unwind and kind of just enjoy everybody's company. I know everybody here is pulling for you to do good stuff. We gave him a nice little reminder.
Yeah.
Handed him this little, everybody wrote note cards to Tivo.
Trying to make me cry.
And he was like, he goes to read them, like, hey bro, don't do that.
Yeah, he's like, don't do it here. And I was like,
And he's like, why? And I'm like, just don't.
and I opened the first one, and I was like, oh, they're notes.
Yep.
Then close it right back up.
So let's turn this into a happier side of things. Not that that's not happy, but Jason, what can we do to fuck with Tivo? Once he's gone?
Well,
this is what I'm looking forward to.
we can mail him stuff.
We can mail it. So
like cookies.
Good luck getting my address.
what happens?
We'll just get a hold of your mom.
Yeah.
What happens if we mail them cookies? Like,
Well, he just
you keep talking about this, but I don't understand. Like, you've been on the opposite side of this.
So they'll get a package and they can do a mail call.
yeah.
And the drill sergeant will pass out mail. Well, if you get a package, he's gonna make you open it in front of everybody.
Oh, yeah. I
Like,
didn't know
oh, look what I have. And you're gonna eat it. And while you're eating it, everybody else is gonna have to do some form of exercise while you're eating your cookies.
I'd be pissed. Like, I want to do the push-ups.
So, yeah. So,
So let's say what happens if he got, your little picture you were showing us earlier. What if he got this giant green dildo that was called the Hulk? What the fuck would happen?
I don't know how that would go over him. That would probably be really bad. But it'd be very hilarious.
Would they make him use it in front of everybody?
No, they would just be like, so let's use it.
That's fucked up.
It'd be very embarrassing for him.
Wow, I wrote home and said my biceps were hurt and need a little massage.
Well, how do you use this? Well, you see, you bend over, and if you hit your hamstrings just right, the soreness goes away.
Yeah, they like to embarrass you and make you do stupid shit in front of everybody.
Well,
And we're gonna help you. We're gonna help you see.
sounds good.
Make those goals happen.
Like, I'm just thinking, a box of Girl Scout cookies a week for like 3 years.
Well, once you're out of basic, it's in basic. That's when it gets on the
Okay.
fuck games.
No.
So we just have to do it during basic. He'll get tormented. So like a case of Twinkies, ho-hos.
I'm gonna kill someone when I come back.
Stuff like this. Just all kinds of stupid stuff.
Yeah. Oh. Well, does he have to eat the entire box of Twinkies? Or
They
just-
might make him.
Oh, fuck yes. What do you hate more than anything, like food-wise?
I'm not telling you that.
He's like, I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
I took Alpha Brain Instant today.
It's working.
I'm thinking very clear.
Yeah, it just says super embarrassing things.
I'm assuming through basic you're going to create some relationships and bonds, much like you have here. That, well,
Not really, because well, I didn't because it was only 18 weeks, so you're in and out. But for Tivo being there for a year, it might be different.
Not every year.
I thought you said you have basics how long?
9 weeks.
9 weeks
And then AAT 17.
Okay. So maybe during AIT you might meet up with some more
Yeah.
people.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe that, but at the same time,
Basic
Who
is
knows?
such a blur, like, and then you get spread out going to the army.
So what do you do in basic? I mean, after you hear these. I mean, I've read books about like Navy
Yeah.
SEAL buds training, and they kind
It's-
of they don't get into it exactly, but then you kind of get the idea. Is basic kind of the same thing? They just kick your ass and get you into shape, or
A little bit, and then they just teach you your basic military knowledge. So, they do on your rank structure, your drill and ceremony, how to shoot a gun,
clean
gas,
your gun and all that other shit.
land nav course, and that's about it over a 9-week period.
you can break it down in 3 weeks, each one.
Yeah.
During that time, are you doing physical training?
Yeah, six days a week roughly.
So you're doing 6 days. So is it just like you
Monday-
picture in the movies? You're fucking running and doing strict pull-ups and push-ups. every day?
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Like a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is a muscle failure day. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday is a run day.
What the fuck is a muscle failure? Is that like strict pull-ups and fatigue?
You're doing push-ups until you're doing push-ups, sit-ups, air squats, flutter kicks. You're doing that shit for 45 minutes.
Fuck yeah.
45 minutes to an hour.
You'll be ready for that shit at least.
Yeah. I'm not
That's
worried.
awesome.
I'm not worried about any of like the physical stuff.
You should be, like I said, if you could go through a wrestling practice and any other fuck games that we do here, you'd be just
Why do you
fine.
keep saying fun fuck?
Fuck.
Fuck. What is a fuck game?
You just fuck around with people. That's what it
He's
is.
a goddamn barbarian just
I'm-
making shit out of
I'm scared that my smart ass is gonna say something I shouldn't.
get caught. Do they have punishments if you do that shit?
What do you mean?
Like if he got lippy with it's basic
Those
instructor or whatever?
I mean,
they'll whoop
I won't
your
say
ass,
anything rude. I would just like be like, but you said this, and
Yeah,
then they're like,
just gonna go off on a tangent.
Right.
While they're making you do push-ups, they're gonna yell at you. And like, oh, you want to be the Mr. Smart guy? You're doing push-ups now.
I saw a meme and it was it said drill sergeant, and it said drill sergeant was like, Private, why did you not shave this morning? And then it was like another drill sergeant. He's like, Battle, he said he's not your dad. I was like, I'd probably be the guy saying, you're not my dad.
Hi, baby.
Almost done.
Almost. We got about 15 more minutes.
We have people here, so.
Okay. So anyway, you got you'll be going through basic and all that other stuff. I would highly recommend journal that process.
Yeah, for sure. So
Like I would take as many detailed notes as you can.
I talked to Morgan about this, like just meeting new people, because as you guys know in like the group chat, how there was a point where I just hated talking to people. Like I didn't want to talk to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Just headphones on at work. I'm not doing that. And then I don't know what exactly it was, but something clicked, and I was like, I don't care who I talk to. I don't care what they think. And it started getting fun to talk to people and like meet new people. And I was talking to Morgan about it one day, and I was like, I'm gonna journal all the people I meet that I can, and I'm gonna report back. And she was like, yes, please. And I was like, it's gonna be awesome. I was like, I'm gonna mess with a lot of people.
You'll definitely meet
Some interesting
a
characters.
really
It's-
eclectic group. of
Yeah,
people.
and especially the ones that are like straight out of high school. I'm excited to see what they think
Yeah.
life is like.
One, I'm just, that is one reason, but for me, it's like, when I did Road to Mission 24, we're doing Road to Ironman, I'm a big believer of being able to go back and look at the emotion and kind of
Yeah.
see how you grew. Like, well, this is gonna be a lot different, because Road to Mission 24 was just a written out blog, and I had a blast doing it. Now we're kind of doing podcasts where we're actually talking, and it's not just me, there's 6 of us, and yeah, we're all intermingling in and out of this, but it's better to go back in like 2 years and listen to, holy
See
shit,
where
this
you're
was
at.
the emotions I was going through at that time.
It'll be interesting to see how Tivo changes from now to when he gets out from basic.
Yeah.
Because you'll be different. You'll change.
Yeah, I assumed I was going to.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some callousing of the mind, I would
Yeah.
imagine, because you're just gonna see
Am I,
a whole different
am I
world.
gonna be screwed like the first week with the ripped hand?
No, that's not.
Alright, cool.
Not like if it was gashed open, yeah, you'd be fucked.
Well, and I assume, I mean, I don't know, I've not ripped since I switched to doing pretty much strict everything.
Yeah.
Typically, I tend to rip when I'm kipping and things like that. I'm guessing military is not going to be like,
No.
hey, kip these pull-ups.
Straight. It's push-ups, sit-ups, some pull-ups.
It'd be fun.
Yeah. And they make you wear gloves for everything, so.
Let me keep my gloves.
When you're running, do you have to wear your military boots and shit?
Well, no. Like if you have a PT uniform, so like right now they're probably still in winter uniform.
Mm-hmm.
So that's hat, gloves,
Sweats.
sweatsuits.
I might wear sweats in the summer.
No, you have to wear like fucking shorts.
Ranger shorts, panties.
Ranger panties. I don't think they're that short.
Ah, boo.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's not big enough to show through anyways.
But that's the other thing. You just have to be in uniform, you know, proper uniform all the time.
Sounds good.
That's
That's gonna be nice. I know what I'm gonna wear today. Same exact thing I wore yesterday.
I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world, you know, getting up and putting on that uniform day in, day out.
I mean, it's not. Don't get me wrong. There's days where you absolutely hate it. You're like, fuck this place. I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
But normally it's my job was it was like 6 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. 6 to 4:30 roughly. And that was your day. Monday through Friday, weekends and holidays off.
Even basic?
Well, not basic, but once you're at your regular duty station,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's 9 to 5 usually. Unless you get sent to the field for 2 weeks or you get deployed, then that's different. But
Yeah.
your day-to-day operations is a 9 to 5 gig.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not,
9 to 5, 6 to 4, whatever.
you know, it's not super.
6 to 4:30.
6 to 4.
Well, I've had
We'll figure it
I've
out.
had days where they were like 6 to like 8:30 at night,
Mhm.
9 o'clock. You're like, fuck this sucks. That's one of those days I was like, this fucking sucks.
That would be interesting when you, because once you get into your actual job, you don't know where the fuck you're gonna be at,
Nope.
what station you're gonna be in. So you could be in a foreign area where it's like, yeah, I'm off at 4:30. This is awesome. What the fuck am I gonna do with the rest of my day?
Yeah.
Like, I know when I'm on the road traveling for work and we wrap up early, I'm like, oh, sweet, hotel for 6 hours before I sleep.
Well, see, when you're in the military, it's different because you have guys there that are,
Yeah.
that will take you around and show you things.
Yeah. Well, you're in the same boat, so he's just gonna be like, hey, you wanna come to my room and check out my Hulk? We can eat Twinkies together.
Like if he gets into it, like, you know, over Europe somewhere, like Germany, I don't know what people like saying this, I think it's like $50 or something like that to travel.
On the train.
On the train everywhere.
Yeah.
So he could go to like France, England, you know, all over the fucking place and actually see the world at, you know, under 30.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can be like me and be stationed in Kentucky and be like, ooh, yay, this was fun.
Did you ever get deployed?
Yeah.
To Kentucky?
No, tell you that.
To Kentucky.
He's like, well, you just said, oh, yeah, Kentucky.
You know, it all depends where you go, and he can, like I said, my nephew was in when he went over to Germany and seen all kinds of shit over there.
Mm-hmm.
So he can ask me, it all depends where you end up going.
Yeah.
He gets sent to Hawaii.
That would suck.
You know, like, oh darn, I'm on the beach on the weekends.
Oh man, I'm gonna go spearfishing before work.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna go play Hawaii 5-0 by myself.
So it all depends where you
You
get.
guys come visit me, why?
Okay, I answer that call.
Hell yeah.
If he goes to Kentucky, nope.
I mean, if I
Like,
go
who the
to
fuck
if I
is-
go to Kentucky, I'll probably be here like every weekend.
Who the fuck is
Yeah.
Tivo?
It's 8 hours, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Kentucky's not 8 hours. Is that? What part of Kentucky?
It's like right on the Tennessee, Kentucky. border.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, Louisville's just the other side. It's like 4.5, 5 hours.
Yeah. It's
I
like
guess-
Fort Campbell's 3 hours from there.
Damn. Is there any inclination on where you're going after basic? Are you going to Oklahoma for basic?
Yeah, Oklahoma for basic, and then Arizona for AIT, which is like your job training.
And what, Fort Huachuca?
Fort Huachuca. Yep. Sierra Vista, Arizona.
It's gonna be hot.
It's actually a lot cooler there than it is in like, because when people think of Arizona, they think of like Phoenix area.
Where it's 110.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But really there, it's like.
It's really dry heat though. Yeah, like walking around in a fucking oven.
Yeah.
It's dry.
I
It's
remember.
still hot.
I remember I came back from Arizona one time, and guy at work. I was like, yeah, it was bad. I was like, it's dry heat. It's like, have you ever opened up an oven? And he was like, well, when you open up an oven, isn't it moist? And I was like, yeah, because your turkey is nice and moist after you put it in the oven. Like, Jesus Christ, guy.
I was prepared to like, turn on a freaking hairdryer in your face.
Yeah, it was bad. Like walking out of Costco, you're just like, mouth completely
I
dry.
make bitchin' moan when it's like 80 degrees. They're like, it's so cold out. Let me put my hoodie on. Let me put my winter coat on. Like, hey.
It's not wrong though, because being overseas, it was the same fucking thing. It'd be like 100 degrees, and then it gets down to like 60 at night. You're like, oh shit. It's cold.
Teeth chattering.
Yeah.
Well, I think your body adapts to it. Like right now, if you think about it, it's only 56 degrees out. We're all walking around in short sleeve shirts or very light pullovers.
Yeah.
We're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, it's super nice. Let's go for a 21-mile bike ride when we've never done it before.
Hey, mistakes were made.
I wish I had got the actual video of him flipping me off, rolling around on the benches, because he was being a little baby.
I was tired. I was bored the fuck out.
I was
He
tired.
stood up and was like, "Oh, my quads."
Well, I didn't intentionally go that far. I was just like, well, this is pretty easy right now. And then it was turnaround time. I was like, oh, fuck, this is horrible.
Awesome joke, he win. But I'm looking
Yeah.
outside. It does not look very windy.
It was windy on that trail.
Do you remember wind today, April?
Nah.
Oh,
I think you're making stuff
I don't
up.
remember wind at all.
Because I thought about it, I was like, I'm done. I fucked this. I was like, gonna call for a ride. I'm just gonna call somebody.
That's,
Go get me.
that's the ultimate fail, right?
Yeah, I was like, I rode this far, so I gotta ride it back. And then you just start seeing it. You know, you start looking out, and you can kind of see 20. You're like, oh, okay, I know where I'm at. You just keep riding. You're like, oh, okay, I'm a little bit closer. And each place, you're like, I'm closer, I'm closer. Like, finally, it was like 198 or Finney Frog, and then I was like, okay, I'm almost there.
He makes it around the corner. He's like, I'm gonna make it.
Pretty
What
much.
I'm funny is he calls for Roger Young, which is like half a mile down the road. Jay, come get me.
As soon
I'm
as
dying.
as soon as I hit the Smith Road,
Yeah.
I was like, fuck this, I got this. And then just hauling ass, that's when I started picking up the pace even more.
Yeah.
Just takes a detour to Gary's. Like, oh, let's stop right here.
I was thinking about, maybe she can just give me a right pace.
Right?
No, I'm just gonna keep going.
So anyway, we're right around an hour right now. So Tivo started with us in January of 2017. This weekend's gonna be his last days. You got anything to plug before you leave?
No, that's about it. I got nothing.
So once Tivo gets us his address, which I'm guessing he's not giving us,
No, I'll send it to you.
we'll make sure we get everybody.
I gotta get it in my phone.
We'll get contact information out there so we can
Mail in
some
fun
some
stuff.
more and fun stuff. And look forward to.
Man.
to
I wish you guys were the only ones that were gonna do it, but I know my friends, so.
we'll put an occasional reminder up to people to fuck with you on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So it'll be
Especially your brother, should probably send you some stuff to make you do push-ups and have fun and basic.
Yeah, my brother already, he always like sends like inspirational stuff to me. And the other day he was like, man, he's like, I know you're tough and all, but they're gonna break you. And I was like, okay. And then like I kept reading it, and then after a while I was like, this guy's gonna make them break me. I was like, they're not gonna do it on their own. Like he's gonna tell them how to do
They're
it.
gonna have fun.
I
Yeah.
think you just have to have John's saying in your head.
One more.
Plus one.
Plus
I
one.
can always do one more. Or as Josh Bridges always says, nobody can stop time.
Yeah, that's
If you just, they can fuck with you all they want, but nobody can stop time.
the big thing that I was in is what I've been doing, especially when I first started the marathon, is just one step at a time, breathe.
Mhm.
That's what I put in the group chat today, because that's all I did in that 10K, was one step at a time,
Yeah, one
breathe.
step at a time and breathe. So we'll get all that information out to Tivo. Thanks again, CR Juices, for our tasty snacks. Make sure you check out CR Juices. NoSurrenderGear.com. Use code Miley15. I'm not doing Lex's little spell this shit out. I don't want to take that from Lex. She loves it too much. But this has been a special edition of Road to Ironman with JG3 Fitness featuring Tivo. So we'll make sure to keep his shit out there so everybody can follow along with what he's doing.
We'll have to do one as soon as I get back.
Yeah. And thanks, Jason the Barbarian, for coming back on the show. Don't forget, I Can't doesn't exist.